Good evening. This is fluid compartments and their major ions. My name is Hannah Antosh. This presentation is for Dr. Brittany Smith, Biology 520, Human Anatomy and Physiology 2. This is our final presentation. Let's go. So to start off, there are two major components within the the fluid, like the fluids within the body. So fluids in the body can be found in two major compartments. They can either be found in the intracellular fluid, and this is the fluid that is found within the cells, or they can be found in the extracellular fluid. And extracellular fluid comes in two main components I'll touch on again in just a minute. This can be found in either the plasma, which is only going to be found within blood vessels, so veins, arteries, capillaries, small vessels, or it can be found within the interstitial fluid. Now, intracellular fluid, and I'm going to touch on plasma and interstitial fluid again in a minute, but intracellular fluid comprises actually about 60% of the body's overall concentration of liquid. And these levels are highly regulated, and they have to be highly regulated all of the time. So if we look at this little diagram I made over here using BioRender, when these fluid levels are not closely monitored, right? If a cell takes in too much fluid, it will swell and lyse, meaning it will burst. Now, if a cell is giving away too much fluid, okay, it's going to shrivel up. Now, these can happen when, in my freshman biology class, at the beginning of the year, we do an osmosis lab where we put, I think I've touched on this in a couple other presentations, but we will take a gummy bear, or I like to do, the dissolved egg, where you dissolve the eggshell with vinegar and then you're left with a great cell membrane, right? But when we put that cell membrane in a fluid concentration where the solute level is higher on the outside of the cell than the inside of the cell, right? Water's going to move from high to low. So it's going to move from inside the cell to outside the cell. And that's like if I put the cell membrane in a beaker of maple syrup, right? All that water that was within that cell left and goes out. Versus if I were to put that same cell membrane in just a plain beaker of water, right, it's going to lyse. It's going to swell up until it can't anymore and burst. Now, extracellular components have two